Hi everyone, it's Rman here, and today I will be answering the question whether harmonized teatime Ingrid is worth your orbs right now or is she not. And I will also do the analysis on the latest teatime banner in that just released. So first I will answer the question whether harmonized Ingrid is worth your orbs. So the short answer to that question is yes. Harmonized Ingrid is definitely worth your orbs because she is very good. And I think she would totally age very well, and she will be relevant in the meta for approximately maybe at least 4 months because she has a lot of crazy effects. And so we would dive into the long reasoning of why harmonized Ingrid is great. But even though harmonized Ingrid is definitely worth your orbs, and I will explain that why later, and even though harmonized Ingrid is worth your orbs, but you may not want to spend all your orbs now just to summon her because CYL is coming very soon in about 1 week later. So about 1 week later, CYL is featuring Boulder again, Brave Boulder featuring Brave Sharena, Brave Male Byleth, and Brave Ekfamir. 4 new Brave units are coming just 1 week later. So you really want to see what skills the 4 new Brave units have before really deciding on which banner, whether the teatime banner or the CYL banner is overall more worth it, because you need to compare between the two. You need to compare whether the teatime banner has more OP units or the CYL banner has better units and has better fodder options. So you really just want to wait and see what the CYL units have to offer before spending all your orbs into the teatime banner. I'm not saying that the teatime banner is bad. The teatime banner is good, is very good indeed, and it features units like harmonized Ingrid and teatime Veronica, etc., which are all pretty good units. But make sure you have enough orbs that you can have the option of going to summon on CYL that is coming 1 week later. So my advice is to just save orbs for now and wait until the CYL banner drops, and wait until we analyze you can analyze the CYL banner yourself later, 1 week after, when the trailer drops, or you can wait for my video, and hear about my advice on whether the CYL banner is better than this teatime banner. We will see next week. So right now I will focus on the teatime banner because all we know now is what skills the teatime banner has. So first of all, I will talk about harmonized Ingrid, and then I will talk about the other heroes featured in the teatime banner. So let's start off to explaining why harmonized Ingrid is just very good. So harmonized Ingrid is an axe cavalry, and she mainly functions as a speed-based melee nuke, and she has good stats as all new units have. So what makes her special? What makes her special is that she has a lot of true damage. She has about 55 true damage if she has all of the tier 4 skills at base stats, no, not base stats, at level 40 stats, and you don't need to merge her up, and she already has 55 true damage. And if you want to compare this amount of true damage to other like strong melee nukes like Emblem Erica, or maybe other recent units like the units from maybe the Fallen banner or the Summer banner, you can compare the amount of melee true damage those new units have, like maybe Summer Ekfamir at level 40, but he is a demo, so maybe you can compare it to Boulder. Boulder does not have, even Mythic Boulder, the latest Mythic unit, doesn't have that much true damage, and Harmonized Ingrid just flat out has 55 true damage. When compared to Baldur, maybe I think she has about 30 or maybe 20 something. And the average amount of true damage that most melee nukes have are maybe 30 something to ranges from about 25 to maybe about maximum of 35, and Ingrid just straight out has 55 true damage. And of course, the 55 true damage may be less than the amount of uncapped true damage that young Camilla gets, because young Camilla is straight out the best melee nuke in the game still, because she can get unlimited true damage. That's the main thing. Although Harmonized Ingrid does not have unlimited true damage, she already has a base minimum of 55 true damage. So young Camilla relies on the foe to have bonus effects or penalty effects, but Ingrid does not need any of that, and she can function as a more stable melee nuke, and this is her advantage over young Camilla. Even though young Camilla may be better at doing more raw damage than Harmonized Ingrid, because young Camilla just has uncapped true damage, and she can easily get to maybe 90 true damage if the foe has enough bonus effects and penalty effects stacked up. But Harmonized Ingrid is just a more stable, and it really just does not rely on the foe to have any sort of effects, and she just straight out does 55 true damage very consistently. So Harmonized Ingrid having this much true damage consistently is very good. And looking on to her flat DR, and she has 27 flat DR together with 40% unpierceable DR, together with an extra of 12 special flat DR. So Ingrid has a lot of flat DR for a melee nuke when compared to the best nuke in the game, young Camilla. Young Camilla is a glass tank, glass cannon type of unit, and she needs to kill any unit within her first 2 hits if they have hardy bearing, or if they have hardy bearing, because young Camilla has built-in desperation effect. So young Camilla cannot survive any enemy counterattacks, but Harmonized Ingrid has sufficient flat DR to tank the enemy counterattacks for 1 hit and then continue attacking the opponent. So Harmonized Ingrid again has a little bit of advantage over young Camilla in this aspect, because she has a respectable amount of flat DR, which is about 27, and this is a good amount. And when you compare this amount of flat DR to other units, you can see that the amount of flat DR, 27 flat DR, is actually similar to the fallen male Alir and maybe the fallen male Dedu, fallen Rman Dedu, which is a unit who just came out 2 months ago, maybe. I do not remember if I remember correctly. And fallen Rman Dedu is not that old, and this Ingrid already just has similar amounts of DR to fallen Rman Dedu, who is literally a tank, omni-tank unit. No, who is literally a savior unit, and a melee nuke having similar amounts of flat DR to a tank unit, an armored unit, is actually ridiculous. So you can imagine how crazy even the base stats of Harmonized Ingrid is. So even with her base stats, she is already looking very good. And moving on to what support she offers. So Harmonized Ingrid provides start of turn supports, the all support, and although all support is very common nowadays, because Marnie has it, the free unit Marnie gives out all, and a lot of other units give out all at start of turn. So you may think that all is just, it's nothing special. Yes, it's common, but it's still a good effect. So the support is good for Ingrid, but of course, Ingrid does not only offer the do-all effect. She offers mainly the reflex bonus status after she does her rally assist skill. And after she does her rally assist skill, she self-dances as well. So remember that she can have an extra action after moving and giving others a rally, using a rally skill basically. So after she does a rally assist skill, she will, or movement assist, both are okay. So when Harmonized Ingrid does an assist skill, she automatically gets an extra action out of it. And she also gives no follow-up, dodge, and reflex to the allies within 2 spaces of the targeting unit of the rally assist skill, and within 2 spaces of herself. So, and she gives out, mainly I want to highlight that she gives out the reflex support. And in case you forgot, what is the reflex support? Reflex status effect. The reflex status effect is a status effect that gives a unit reflective damage. So if you have been playing this game for recently and you have been really just seeing the recent meta, you would know how OP reflective damage is. Reflective damage really shines when a unit can tank an enemy's counterattack, and if they survive an enemy counterattack, they can reflect back all the damage they have reduced and just boom, automatically kill the opponent. So the reflective damage just basically adds a lot of damage to most modern units. So this reflex status effect is just what makes Harmonized Ingrid so good. Mainly the main selling point of this unit is the reflex support, and not to mention the no follow-up support. The no follow-up support may seem not as impressive, but it's still very good, because most strong nukes nowadays, most speed-based nuke nowadays, may not necessarily have no follow-up. Like take teatime Veronica, who is in this banner sharing with Harmonized Ingrid as an example. She is a ranged speed type range nuke unit, and she does not have no follow-up in her base kit. So Harmonized Ingrid giving this no follow-up support at the middle of the turn after her rally assist skill is so good, because it cannot be cleansed, because it's applied at the mid-turn, during middle of the turn. So it really just adds on to how good Harmonized Ingrid is. And Harmonized Ingrid of course has Canto Distance +1 max 4, which automatically gives her hit and run potential, and she has Potent 100%, which allows Ingrid to really just finish off foes more easily and increases her nuking power. And she also has the flared sparrow effect built in her private A skill, which really just helps break the ice terrain, or mainly to make the flame terrain, and to stop the ranged units from moving through you. And it really just stops the ranged units from moving easily to your team, from attacking your team, because it acts as difficult terrain for the ranged 2 units. But mainly the flame terrain is there to override other terrain. And her harmonized skill is also quite good, giving Ingrid herself movement +1, and gives empathy to the harmonized effect as the harmonized effect to units from free houses and units from Frasha 360 from the Frasha game. And it also gives the Resonance Blaze, which is not that good nowadays. What's good is the empathy status, so even her harmonized skill is quite good. So Harmonized Ingrid overall is just a really good melee nuke, and I really think that Harmonized Ingrid can has the potential to reliably kill the legendary Black Knight. That just goes to say how OP Harmonized Ingrid is. So that's why I think Harmonized Ingrid is definitely worth your orbs. But as I said earlier, you really want to see what the CYL banner has to offer before spending all your orbs on the teatime banner. So next we will talk about teatime Veronica. So teatime Veronica is a colorless cavalry tome, and she has a respectable amount of true damage. She has 30 true damage, about a maximum of about 30 true damage, but that excludes exposure. And she has an OK flat DR as a ranged nuke. She has 15 flat DR, but what really makes her really tanky is her 80% unpierceable DR. She literally has 80% unpierceable DR when she initiates combat, which really just makes her automatically unkillable when she initiates combat, and she can really survive almost everything from this game, and maybe even the legendary Black Knight, because 80% unpierceable DR is almost like making enemies not do damage. And so you can see that teatime Veronica is really tanky if she initiates combat, but her damage output may not be as high as other ranged nukes because she does not have brave attacks, and she does not have the desperation effect, and she only attacks once, and then she needs to tank an enemy counterattack. So moving on, she also spreads the start of turn debuffs. She spreads the start of turn debuffs, the two status effects. She spreads Field and Discord as a start of turn debuff, and the Field status effect is start of turn debuff is quite good because it stops the allies, the support effects of other units from affecting your combat. So for example, the most recent relevant unit, Valentine's Duorea, the Field debuff effect can stop the miracle effect given by Harmonized Duorea, and you can kill most units more easily. So the Field debuff effect is definitely good, and which makes this unit teatime Veronica better. And she also gives out the incited status effect at start of turn to allies within 2 spaces, which is good. And she also has Canto minimum 1, and she has no guard, and she gives out Resonance Blaze, Resonance Shields, and cooldown charge +1, etc. after her rally or movement assist skill, and she gets an extra action, and that is very good because she can get more action economy on a unit. Is definitely just good. And if you get, and she gets that from as a ranged unit, so that's even better. And she does not suffer any movement penalty effects after getting her extra action like other units. If you compare this to Emblem Micaiah Ring, and if Emblem Micaiah Ring is used by ranged units, it applies the gravity status after they get an extra action after the movement assist skill. But teatime Veronica does not have any debuff after getting her extra action from the rally assist skill, so that's very good, and she can walk free spaces as a cavalry unit even after her rally assist skill, so that just increases her threat range and makes her even better. And she also spreads the exposure effect after her movement assist skill, and she also comes with a new detect skill, but that's not that important. So overall, we can see that teatime Veronica is a really tanky ranged nuke, but she does not have no follow-up, and that is my main concern for teatime Veronica. Teatime Veronica does not have no follow-up in her base kit, and so that means if she is going up against maybe Nitager or even Hector, far saves like Hector, Nitager or even Fallen Female Leer, she may not get her follow-up attack because she does not have no follow-up, and she cannot kill most far saves in her on her first attack, because a lot of the far saves have so much flat DR on the first attack that every first attack would just automatically be a clang 0 damage. And what you need to have as a ranged nuke in order to really destroy those far saviors is that you need to have a follow-up attack. But teatime Veronica cannot reliably get her follow-up attack because she does not have no follow-up in her weapon. So even though teatime Veronica has a lot of unpierceable damage reduction in her private special, 80% unpierceable DR, which makes her 100%, almost 100% survive any enemy counterattacks, she just cannot reliably defeat enemy far saviors unless she has no follow-up, and even maybe an extra reflex support to add on to her damage output. So I'm not sure how well teatime Veronica will perform because she does not have no follow-up in her base kit. But if she is doing her follow-up attack, then she is most likely destroying most units in the game, because she can kill most units in her follow-up attack. But mainly her main disadvantage is not having no follow-up, and once she cannot do her follow-up attack because she does not have brave attacks, if she does not have her follow-up attack even, she will not do anything. She will not destroy enemy far saviors, and she will just be another unit that cannot kill the legendary Black Knight. So that's just not too good. And I'm not saying that she is a bad ranged nuke, because she can definitely survive enemy far saviors, but her main job is to defeat enemy far saviors. So on that note, I'm not sure how well she will perform, and I think I will give her a score of, I'm having doubts on her performance, but then again, if you give her the right support, for example, if you give her harmonized Ingrid support, she will automatically become the greatest nuke in the game, and she can kill the Black Knight easily because of the reflective damage from the reflex bonus status effect, and she just gets no follow-up from harmonized Ingrid. So if you pair her up with Ingrid, then she is a 10-10 range nuke. But if she is on her own as an independent range nuke, then she may not be good enough to take out the legendary Black Knight on her own, and she needs some extra help. So I might not rate her very high, and I will give her about a 7 as a new unit, as a new range nuke. She's not bad, but I don't think she can reliably kill the legendary Black Knight if she does not get her follow-up attack, because she has no follow-up in her base kit. So that is my main concern for this unit, but other than that, she is definitely a good unit. So I will give her a 7 out of 10 as a ranged nuke. So then we will move on to teatime Felix. Teatime Felix is an infantry lance unit, and Felix functions is a lot like his brave version, the brave Felix from the last year's CYL. And so this teatime Felix also gets the Gale Force, and he also has what makes teatime Felix different to his brave version before is that this teatime Felix has more true damage and more flat DR compared to the brave version. But then again, this teatime Felix also does not get distant counter or even the ability to test Ifra's traps like the brave version of himself. So if we're talking about in terms of doing damage and in terms of combat, melee combat, then teatime Felix definitely has more damage output and can reliably defeat more foes more effectively when compared to his brave version. But the brave version also has the ability to test Ifra's traps, and he is just more versatile when using him as a Gale Force unit in Ifra's offense. And teatime Felix just unfortunately gets stopped by Ifra's traps and really just hinders his possibilities when he wants to initiate combat. And yes, he can still walk free spaces and then get an extra action if he lands on the neutral space, but the fact that teatime Felix cannot just land onto an enemy trap really just makes him harder to use in Ifra's Gale Force team. So back to his base stats, he has more true damage, as I said, compared to his brave version. He has 35 true damage himself, and he has about 25 flat DR together with 40% unpierceable DR, and he also has about 10 special flat DR. So he is quite tanky, and he can tank most enemy counterattacks and defeat them on his follow-up attack. And he also has no follow-up in his base kit, and he has preempt pulse, movement +1, etc. And he also spreads the sabotage and discord status effect at start of turn and even after his first action, or even after his actions, not just the first action. So teatime Felix can spread more debuffs, and he also has better damage output than the brave version of himself. So he is definitely not a bad unit, but then he doesn't really stand out as much, because while he does more damage consistently that compared to his brave version, he also has some minor drawbacks that make the brave version doesn't make him similar to the brave version in terms of what you want to utilize. So if you want your Felix to maybe test Ifra's traps and even have the enemy counterattack, like distant counter effect, then you should definitely use brave Felix. But if you want your Felix to do more damage, to reliably defeat modern enemies with a lot of DR, like you want to take out the really annoying omni-tank units, like maybe the Tiki, the recent attuned Tiki. So you may want to use this teatime Felix instead of brave Felix if you're really looking for, if you want to optimize your damage output on your Felix. So it all comes down to whether you want more damage or you want more versatility as a Gale Force unit, like testing traps. So it really just comes down to what you want to prioritize when doing your Ifra's offense. So I think teatime Felix is not a bad unit, but then again, he is just a little better than brave Felix, and he also has a bit more drawbacks. Not a lot more drawbacks. He also has some drawbacks when compared to brave Felix. So overall, I will give teatime Felix a 6.5 out of 10 as a new unit, because again, he doesn't really stand out all that much. But I'm not saying he is a bad unit, but he doesn't stand out all that much, and I fear that he will fall very quickly. So I will give him a score range of either 4.5 or 7, around 4.6, not 4.5, sorry, 6.5 to 7, about this score range. So he is not a bad unit. He is good at the time, but I don't think he is special enough to really stay relevant in for too long, because then everyone has seen the Brave Felix. Everyone has seen Brave Felix already, so this is basically just another Brave Felix. So Teatime Felix is not very outstanding or unique, so I think that he will not age too well, so unfortunately. So lastly, we will talk about Teatime Saline, who is the demo unit in this Teatime banner. So Teatime Saline has a really good demo weapon, and this is the best demo weapon I've seen for a while, for the recent, even in this year. This is by far the best demo weapon in 2025. I can say that, because this T-Pop Plus, this demo weapon from Teatime Saline, has 25 true damage, which is a lot for a demo weapons. And you can definitely just, if you have 25 true damage in a demo weapon, the demo weapon is already quite good. But other than the 25 true damage, it also gets an extra action after the user gets a rally, uses a rally assist skill or movement assist skill. It gives them an extra action, and it also gives 2 bonus status effects: the incited status effect and the cooldown charge plus 1 status effect after the movement or rally assist skill. So basically, this demo weapon gives action economy and 25 true damage, which is a lot, and that's all you can ask for a demo weapon. Really, you get more. You get 1 more extra action for the assist skill, and you get a lot of true damage. That is all you need in a weapon, and really, that's just what makes this demo Saline very good. And because the free Tempest Trials unit Finn, also has the same weapon as demo Saline, but just the sword version, if I remember correctly. So Finn is also very good, with a lot of true damage and just the extra action economy from the demo weapon is just amazing. So definitely, if you have the free summon, I really suggest that you can try to go for demo Saline instead of really gambling your 3% chance in getting Harmonized Ingrid, because you have a much higher chance of getting Teatime Saline, who is a demo unit, than actually hitting the 3% Harmonized Ingrid. So if you really want to maximize your value in your free summon, and you should try and get demo Saline, which is, you should go for red instead of green for Harmonized Ingrid in this banner. So this is all for the banner analysis for this latest Teatime banner analysis video, and I hope you enjoyed the video and found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.